welcome back to the podcast here in Global Conquerors, our weekly podcast, Conquest. This is episode 80, being recorded on July 6, 2025. Your host, SMGFrenzy, joined with...
AssassinADC, like always. Um, yeah, back for the weekly podcast. Back for the second week again, for only this week, surprisingly. Um, some topics to talk about. Not much, but there's some important stuff to talk about there. So, yeah. So we're back for another week, as always, because we don't miss these no more. So yeah. Like I always do, I'm gonna throw it over to Mark, try to get us kicked off. But this time I could actually do that since he's here now. But yeah, so let's kick it off with the first topic, Mokhtar.
We'll go over with our esports and gaming section, starting off with, unfortunately, something that we've been talking about for the past 2 years at this point, which is the resounding layoffs within the gaming industry. And just in the past few days, Microsoft has announced another massive set of layoffs, with over 9,000 Microsoft employees across almost all divisions being affected. We have, especially close to us within the gaming realm on the Xbox side, due to the layoffs, Xbox has canceled multiple games, such as the reboot of the game Perfect Dark, and is shutting down the studio that is responsible for it, called The Initiative. There's also a game by the studio Rare called Everwild, which is also being canceled, and then also Forza Motorsport has also been canceled. So it's three massive games that were kind of, talked about. I wouldn't say necessarily hyped, but did have a standing presence within the gaming community for up-and-coming releases that were under development by these studios, and now you see studios shutting down and the games related to them shutting down. Also, Microsoft has been going through with the studios that they have been shutting down, creating newer studios made up of like skeleton crews with those staff to work on other future Xbox titles as far as right now. But again, it's just unfortunate seeing these waves upon waves upon waves of layoffs. We talked about another big Microsoft layoff, I believe, about almost a year ago, and then we had like it was like
One couple months ago too, because I talked about it too. So
yeah. So it's just been back to back
it's
to back massive effects in the gaming industry.
yeah. I mean, I think I said it last time. And this is like normal. I mean, now for them. I mean, it's become a yearly thing for them. Um, I think this time around, like now, I feel like they're going off stats and like what's working, what's not working, what's popular, what's not popular, and it's not like some of these creators are like some of these people are like they're obviously each of these gaming games that are canceled. Most of the people that they felt needed to get were removed were removed. They obviously, like you said, they kept a certain amount of people from these uh these games, and they're being put into different projects because they feel like they have value. Could have value somewhere else. So at least some people that were on these projects aren't totally getting removed. But I'm guessing they picked the best from the bunch. From each one. I mean, that's how it works. I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, I think the one that stands out the most from the ones that are canceled is Forza Motorsports. I mean this they've made these games on Xbox for a while. I mean, a long time. And I think they were on their fifth or sixth installment. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm I'm surprised that this one is getting um shut down or canceled. So, but like I said, it's just normal. In the business aspect, you gotta cut down on costs that you feel like most of your funds are going to and that are not being benefited, or you're just losing money at that point. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just common sense. And this probably won't be the last time they do it this year. I feel like they'll do it again later this year, or maybe a few months from now, maybe the start of next year. I mean, they always do it every year. So it's just common. I mean, it's not just Microsoft. Every other company does it too. Um, but it just seems like Microsoft is the one that is mainly the ones doing it.
Yeah.
Um, so can't really blame them. So.
Now, I'm sure we will be covering the fallout of this coming through the next few days. We saw that it's even affected studios, smaller studios such as I forget what the name of the current Halo studio is because they changed it. It's not 343, but I keep wanting to say 343. What is it
They
called?
changed it.
What is it
I don't
called?
know. I thought it was 343.
I think it's just called Halo Studios, right?
Yeah, Halo Infinite.
Right?
Yeah,
It's
Halo
just called
developers, Halo Studios.
Halo Studios. Okay, yeah. So Halo's even like teams like Halo Studios have also seen some layoffs, and they're a very small team. So we'll be hearing the fallout of the Microsoft layoffs in the next coming weeks, and we'll be covering anything that comes out from that.
It's crazy. The Halo 343 website says Halo Studios on it.
Yeah, remember, we talked about the rename like 7 months ago.
And what was it before? It was
It was
343,
343. That's it.
and then they had changed it before, right?
Well,
There was another name they had before
they
it.
were owned by Bungie before that.
No, before they had
Nope, nope.
it was just 343, and then that.
It's 343, and now it's Halo Studios. That's
So
it.
you're saying that? Okay, well, fuck. I feel like they changed their name so many times. I feel like I lost track of the name somewhere.
Nope, it's all even one name change. But yeah, we'll be covering the fallout of the Microsoft layoffs in the coming days. To continue on with, I guess, more unfortunate gaming news, though, EA has announced that they will be shutting down the servers for Anthem starting in January 12th of next year. They did announce that players will not be issued a refund, and the game will just simply be no longer playable because it is a online. It requires internet to actually play the game, so which is again unfortunate for games of this type. We see it all the time when like games like Halo 3 on the Xbox 360 and stuff. Like when the Xbox servers go down, then the game goes down. Now you can't play that game anymore except unless it has like an offline aspect. Anthem is in a similar realm. I don't know if Anthem has a campaign or not, but because this game is majority online dominated, you shut down the game. No one can play the game. If no one can play the game, that means their money's now kind of been wasted. You would think that maybe there would be a refund for this because we have seen in the past year or so a lot of times when games have been shut down, refunds have been offered. But also, this is EA. No one's expecting EA to do anything nice in this scenario, so it's unfortunate for the Anthem community. I know they're not as large anymore, but it's still unfortunate because they're still fellow gamers that are being robbed of the game that they
Anthem
didn't
players.
pay for to play. So,
Ah, I don't know. Be honest with me, man.
mm-hmm.
Ever since they started making games free to play, they've all been trash and trash. Should they just go back to games costing
No,
like actual money?
it's not even that. It's just that the gaming development scene is kind of up in the air these days. A
Bro,
lot of things
they
are
no,
contracted. A lot of things are trying to jump on a trend instead of making a good game. So there's even a lot of paid games that are bad these days. And I don't think it has anything to do with the free to play aspect.
bro. Why is it shit? Why are all games shit now? Bro, is this Chat GPT AI shit really messing with people's like trying to make stuff easy to make?
I mean, the AI is a factor in it, being like, what's a game that will appeal to people between the ages of 14 and 25 that's based off of it has the same amount of, like adrenaline that COD and Halo has. And what's the game that will be as
Bro,
popular as League? You know,
I hate those. I hate COD trailers because they look not like once the game fully comes out, it looks nothing like that.
mhm.
But that's just normal. Like there was a thing that I saw. I don't know if have we talked about it. Did we? I don't know, but there was a company that used AI to make a gameplay trailer to
Mhm.
see what black or like what backlash or like what feedback they would receive before they even make the game, so that they don't waste millions of dollars making it.
Yep.
Does that make I isn't that kind of insane? I think that's what that shit should be used for.
I mean, AI also just still isn't the best judge of like how people will react. Though it's the reason why when movies before they come out, they still screen them with real people to see what the actual people think of them. You can't use AI for everything.
Is that so?
Yeah. AI can be good for like, hey, I'm writing something. Can you check the grammar on this? Hey, I have an idea, but I can't flesh it out. Can you give me inspiration to flesh it out? Instead of using it to do every damn thing for you.
Well, that's the problem with everybody nowadays. They use that shit to get a way around living. So
Mm-hmm.
relying so much on AI for, even though its intended use was to help make um or like correct errors or find like the middle ground to your idea,
Mm-hmm.
or like something to help you give another an opinion that isn't a person, or if you don't have friends, that would be a good idea to get another opinion from.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, or just stuff to help tweak out some things that you feel like you missed, or I mean that's what it should be used, but obviously people are abusing it for daily life. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah. Anyways, yeah. Let's just be honest. People making games, their creative mindset sucks. Um, Anything they put on paper sucks. Whoever approves of them to make these games suck.
Mm-hmm.
Because every game that has came out has been absolute trash, and you know it's bad when they issue full slash half refund.
Yep.
When the fuck was the last time? Sorry for my English, but when the hell was the last time we've seen a bunch of these games, a lot of these games, or just a good amount of games in a year span, like from the start of the year till now? How many games have been released and issued refunds within the first week?
We did see quite a few of those, which is kind of wild. Because we would, if we did the same like thing back in 2015, this would be unheard of.
I think I don't think there's any. I think I don't know. I
This hasn't
think
happened before.
it doesn't happen because everyone everyone knew what was working. The formula worked. Everything people try to, it's because people are tired of the same stuff. They want to change it.
Mm-hmm.
Like like look at for example CS:GO. How long has CS:GO been around? 20, 25, 26 years? Longer than we've been born, dude. Close to like the same amount, right?
Yeah.
And guess what? Games have tried to be different. They couldn't do it. And guess what? Look at Valorant. You see, wonder why Valorant's different from CS:GO? It's more vibrant. It has color. It has different. It's different, but it's similar formula. What the fuck? How? Look. Okay, let's be honest. Look, X Defiant, for example,
Mm-hmm.
was trying to be a COD killer, trying to copy COD's formula.
Mm-hmm.
Their copying formulas already exist and trying to compete with them.
I mean, it's the same thing like when Overwatch came out, and then every game tried to be
Oh,
Overwatch right
let's
after, and
okay.
when
Now let's think about
Fortnite
it.
came out, and every game tried to be Fortnite right after.
Let's see what else.
Or I guess when Halo was having production issues, and then you had
Split
Splitgate come out.
Splitgate. Okay, Splitgate. Splitgate came out literally at the worst time possible. If this game would have came out before, like a couple months, maybe even at the start of the year before Halo Infinite, it would have been okay. The only reason why Halo Infinite is not great when it first came out, right? Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
You say what pisses me off about what you say is that every update the game's gonna get better. Every update you say the same
But
shit.
it did.
Halo,
It did.
okay, okay, but it took how many? It took them 4 or 5 years. This is probably like the best state of Halo it's been.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
what the? Okay, the only reason why Splitgate, the first one, didn't died so quick. Halo's name is just too damn big. Halo's community is huge. Think about it. Halo 5 was probably like the best all around game, even though there's older. I think Halo 3 might be the best Halo of all time. But right, that's my opinion. Halo 5, I think it's all around probably the best put together game out of all the games. Campaign, well, the storytelling was shit, I'll tell you that. But the game was good, right?
Yeah, it was still fun.
Dude,
We love the
I think
multiplayer for
Halo.
H5. It had the most weapons out of any of the Halo games. It had the most game modes out of any of the Halo games. Firefight and Warzone was genuinely fun. The Forge is still probably one of the best out there.
Bro, the problem with Halo Infinite in this game, I hate that I switched over the topic, but The reason why Halo 5 was better than Infinite is because there's game modes that people wanted in the game, stayed in the game, and never removed.
Yeah.
Doubles. Why isn't doubles a full-time game mode? Why is it getting rotated out with sniper shotguns?
I don't know, buddy.
Why is it getting replaced by Husky Raid?
Well, okay. To be fair, Husky Raid is actually a permanent one. That one doesn't get rotated out.
Okay, but back then, was it? It was getting rotated out with doubles.
Yeah.
There's no damn SWAT. Bro, Halo Infinite doesn't have SWAT. It is not even called SWAT. What the hell is it called? Team Tactical?
Yeah.
Where
the competitive version gets rotated in and out because what Halo Studios is claiming is that not enough people play these game modes, so you gotta bring in other game modes to get that playlist reinvigorated. Because unfortunately, people don't still really like the version of tactical SWAT in Halo. People do like Husky Raid, which is why it's a permanent playlist. Unfortunately, Halo Infinite doesn't have a big enough population to sustain a permanent 2 doubles, which is just sad, but it's just the truth.
It's a problem. That's the problem with games. They don't give a shit what the people care about. They just throw whatever they want. Remember what's that game? Remember that game of the with the bomb, but it's now different. It's like you have to carry the ball bomb into the enemy base.
Well, that's a classic game mode. I think you're talking about the when the game first came out. There was that other game, and we have not seen it since. It's just been gone.
Oh, okay. Okay, now I know. Okay, so I did mix them up. I'm talking about the one that they integrated bombs, and they have certain spots like you have to go to plant them.
Yeah.
And then you have to the other team would defuse it, and they would have to try to plant it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That game mode was out for a week and it disappeared. They didn't say nothing. They just removed it and never came back. Guess what? A year later, they released a search and destroy version of a game mode.
Mm-hmm.
What are they doing, bro? The problem with these companies is they're not listening to what people want, or why can't they listen to people? Why?
I mean, because a lot of times the developers think they know what the community wants or wants to do something that they're passionate about and realize that the community is not passionate about it or cares about that in the same way. I mean, it's the same way that the community was begging for new weapons for the longest, and we only been getting new weapons consistently in the past year, you know? It's a miscommunication between what the devs want versus what the community wants. Hence why you saw the backlash when Halo 5 first came out, because people were like, why do we have all these Spartan abilities in ranked? We shouldn't have all this in ranked. And it took them years to remove out ground pound and thrust. Well, they left thrust was fine. But ground pound and Spartan charge from ranked, and to remove the AR from ranked and switch to BR only and all that, or the Magnum only and all that stuff, you know? Same it took us a while to remove the BR from ranked here in Infinite because people were like the BR was too powerful. That's why we got the Bandit, and they had to make a whole new gun to make the Bandit, and they had to make a variant of the Bandit. So it's it took them a while to understand what the community wanted.
Versions of I want you to understand that they released 2 versions of the same gun versus just releasing a different version of the gun.
Hey, we still never got the Magnum. I thought we were still getting that gun eventually.
We have it in the game. It's called the Sidekick. It's
not.
Good.
2 different guns.
Fuck her. We have to ban it for a reason. They don't want. Do you want to see another year? Or I mean, it wasn't that bad. Pistols only.
Go for another year of Magnum only because that was still fun. The Magnum is still. I claim this. No. I claim this. I still stand by. Magnum Halo 5 probably was the cleanest Halo gameplay out of any of the Halo competitive games. It just felt right. That gun was perfect in every way.
Think of how trolly that shit looks. A pistol killing people from across the map.
Yeah, and it felt great when you hit that 5 shot.
It would outgun people with goddamn ARs and BRs. Does that make sense to you?
It's Halo, you know. It's a space fantasy game.
You're telling me a gun that has 15 bullets is gonna outgun a gun that's 30 to 40 that shoots fully or burst?
Yes, apparently. This is the same game. Okay, to be fair though, don't forget Halo 5 Ranked did start off with the BR. And you know the main reason they got rid of the BR is because they nerfed it, so it just sucked in that game.
So why did they just go to BR? Like,
Well, also, you admit the
like the
Magnum
battle
just
royale.
feels great in Halo 5. And why do you think? Remember when Halo Infinite started competition, and they made the Bandit? What's the Bandit supposed to emulate? The Magnum.
Yes, and you want a Magnum when we already have something like that.
Because I don't want to carry a sidekick as my secondary.
You don't need to carry a side. You could kill people with the main gun the whole time.
I know, but like I'm just saying.
It
also just looked cleaner. You remember how the team skins looked in the Magnum? The customizability of it just looks cleaner.
All they did was slap the logo on the side of the gun.
And that's all you needed to do with some like little decals
All
on the
you
side.
had to do was reload it. You'll see it. That's it.
Yeah, but like it doesn't take up the full screen. It was nice and tight. It just looked clean. Half of our thumbnails when we did Halo 5 thumbnails look clean because it's a Magnum. Anyways, this is about Anthem, not about Halo.
Anthem, yeah. It sucks that their games are getting shut down, but it's EA. EA are not to throw shade, but it's not the greatest company out there. You should see their sport games. You can tell by that community they hate themselves. And I know from experience because I have a bunch of people that play only EA games, and they hate that community with a passion. So they don't really care. They won't refund anything. So it's kind of like normal.
Mhm.
But play the game while it's live until next year or 5 months from now. Holy shit.
Yep.
So, well, yeah.
Yeah, I think that wraps up the EA topic. We move over to our last topic for the esports gaming session, which is mid-season invitational for League.
Yeah, that's it.
We got some updates because it's been about 2 weeks of play in the bracket stage. Most of the games were expected, besides a few. Obviously, Genji's going to be G2. We have the number 1 seed from China. Always Legends going to beat North America's number 1 seed FlyQuest. T1 had a very tough match against Apex CFO, which was very surprising. That match was 3-2, and then of course we expected BLG to beat Europe's number 1 seed Koi. We go on to like then the second set of matches. Genji barely beat Always Legends, China's number 1 team. That was a really good match to watch. T1 swept BLG, which was a rematch of last year's World's Finals. T1 looks like the best team in the world right now. G2, historically Europe's number 1 team, got demolished by America's number 1 team, FlyQuest. I think we can say it has been 2 years of North America being better than Europe, and we clearly are better at this point. When we had Europe's number 1 team, Koi, get swept by, again, CFO, which everyone's like, damn, maybe CFO is just better than we realized. So now we have the matches coming up that are going to determine the top 3 finishes for the MSI, which is Genji versus T1, a rematch of last year's World Semifinals, and we see T1 in national events. They turn up better than anyone else can. It makes no damn sense. We have BLG versus FlyQuest. That'll be a match people actually want to watch because it's China number 2 versus NA number 1. And NA is actually good, which is funny to be saying. So that's going to be a fun match. And then we have Always Legends.
It's because NA wants to compete with the best leagues in the world.
We've gotten better.
Are we gonna beat them? I don't think so. We might have some upsets later. I'll give them like 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 more years from now.
Same FlyQuest that brought Gen G to Game 5 last year.
Yeah.
This team is not one team to be messed with.
I know. It's the sleeper team. It's like the what's the dark horse? It has to be. They have to be the dark horse, right? There's no way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they could cause upset. I mean, it's just the playstyle. NAs and Europes are like close neck and neck to each other, but it seems like NA is starting to figure out the gap between them. It's like think of it like NA. Okay, NA versus like the Korea's league, right? It's like watching Major League Baseball versus high school, right? Is that a good comparison or not?
I would say no, that's too big of a gap. I would say it's like watching like
I mean,
I'd say it's like watching.
Besides that one team, college and Major League.
Maybe I was thinking more like think of like soccer or football. You have like the Premier League, and then you have the second division. There are teams in the second division that are better than teams in the first division. That's just a
Okay,
fact. Yeah,
that's what we're trying. Yeah, no, my fault, my fault.
you're good.
But NA, I mean Flight Quest.
NA is just genuinely though the third best region now. We've taken Europe's spot of being the third best region. Europe has had
Crazy how
back to back to back bad international performances, while we've like actually shown up and actually beat teams in Europe and challenged
But
teams in China and Korea.
what is causing them to get better? What is changing? Like, what are they? Is it because they're playing more against these teams now because of the how formats are now?
Oh yeah, one is a format. NA does now do best of threes and best of fives instead of best of ones. One is now actually growing homegrown talent instead of working on let's import the best player from Korea that we can. Let's import the best player from China that we can to make a team that should be able to beat him, and then just having better coaching
Come
staff
on,
too.
we like saying that word though. Import.
That was the issue for the longest. We were just import. Now we're actually like homegrown talent that's like actually
They're
good. And just playing more games. We just play more games so we have more practice now. And also we though we had a wave of retirement of some of our best players, a lot of our new rookies have been good, while Europe has had a wave of retirement of some of their best players. And you see the issues now, Europe has been importing older North American players to try to fill their teams, and that's not working out for them. G2 and Koi have North American players on there that they're good, but clearly not good enough to help them beat the teams that they historically would have beat.
fine, dude.
So
There's a reason why they're no longer in a team on NA.
depends.
But
But yeah. MSI has been good. There's also some of the other updates from MSI. Faker has gotten his 200th win on the international stage during this MSI. And Faker is by far also the oldest player there. The youngest player there is 18. Faker's 29.
18. What team is he on? Gen G.
CFO.
And he beat. So the oldest and the youngest played against each other.
Yeah, and Faker.
Oh, there was a whole thing about it, right? There was a thing. I forgot what it was exactly.
Faker was like saying like this dude is like really damn good.
When
Hey,
I guess, I mean, but I mean, 200, huh?
Yep.
What's the second?
I don't even dare. I don't think they said. I just know that Faker by far has the most. I think the second would
So
be
you-
one of like G2's players, because G2's have been to a bunch.
I mean, he has to have the most by someone by a long slide, no?
Considering he's won 2
How long has
MSIs
it
and has been to every MSI besides like one.
Which was what year? 20...
Probably
2020?
somewhere around there.
It's the one that where he missed Worlds, right? It had to be.
Maybe? I don't know for sure.
Recently? Oh, okay.
But remember, this is counting all international wins, so this is counting all his wins in Worlds. He's won 5 Worlds, 2 SMSIs, and then this is also just games won within those 2. So, I mean, nobody else has had that many international appearances anyways.
I mean, no one's played longer than he has, though.
Yeah.
But not many has won like him.
That too.
I mean, when you think of generational, I mean, I don't think there'll ever be a player like that.
Oh.
I don't think there'll be any player like that. I don't think any of his records will get broken.
The closest was the player who gets the second inductee in the Hall of Legends versus Uzi, who's won 3 MSIs, and that's it.
Yeah, but he's been retired for
Like 4 years now.
Exactly. The only way that happens is if he comes out of retirement, competes, and has to win almost everything.
And that's not happening. It just isn't.
Yeah, because you live in a world where the greatest player of all time is still playing, won't have to leave because he exempted military service because he won a gold medal. Let's see, what else? Yeah, he probably won't retire. How many more years do you think he'll play?
I mean, considering how he looked like 2017 Faker yesterday, I think he's playing for another 5 at least. Buddy isn't going anywhere. If they win Worlds this year, literally, bro, is like no reason to go anywhere now.
Well, he could retire. I mean, no one's gonna catch up. No one's
catching up now.
The player that they literally think will be his successor. What is it called?
Chovy?
Yeah. And guess what he had to say to him? it was like a whole world. Was it Worlds thing or an
It
MSI
was
thing? What was it?
Worlds.
What did he say? He was like, you. We talked about this like last year during Worlds. He was like, you might. They consider you like the next great, but
It
come and
was
prove it or something like
yeah, it
that.
was a
Or he said
it
something like.
was come and prove it.
And then guess what? He got slammed. And then guess what? Faker went on to win Worlds again.
Every year
So
Faker hits like the opponents of like all roads lead to Faker. If you want to win a Worlds, you got to beat T1. All that stuff. You know, like you
no,
can't win a Worlds if you can't beat
if you
them.
no, it's to win Worlds you have to beat Faker because Faker literally has. Doesn't matter what team he has, you have to beat him.
Yeah.
That player changes the game like nobody. Like that's an impactful player. If you shut him down, you pretty much win. But
That's not
it's
even the
harder.
case anymore. Teams have been focusing on Faker, and then other players like Karya, Guma, Doran have been like stepping up instead.
Exactly.
T1 is just that team that's like that is a super team, and that's a super team that has worked consistently. Funnily enough,
Super team. I don't know about that. This one player doesn't. That one player left. I hate that guy still. I still hate him. I hated him for a long time. I still do. Are you mad that he left?
I'm mad that he left, but I think it gave his replacement Doran a good chance to show up that Doran is actually not a bad player.
Baker loves that dude with a passion.
They're great, man. It's been a great change on their end.
So if they peak, they'll win it again.
Probably. There's a good chance they genuinely win Worlds this year. So.
You think?
I think so. If they keep playing how they did yesterday, then for sure. But we'll see.
I got money on. Anyways.
We'll see. But yeah, that's about it for esports and gaming. We'll quickly hop over to general news where Netflix award-winning TV-produced anime by Studio Trigger Cyberpunk Edgerunners got greenlit for a Season 2 sequel following the tragic events of the very first season. Of course, they did specify that anyone who died in the first season is dead and will not be coming back, which is great to know. So it shows that these shows have impact and lasting storytelling that won't just BS you and bring back a fan-loved character back to life. But this was a big shock to everybody because, as we know, Edgerunners was the anime prequel to the game Cyberpunk, which we talked about how the game had like a rough release and then ended up getting fixed and had a passionate fan base. And then the anime came out and absolutely revitalized everything in the Cyberpunk genre because, damn, that anime is good. That anime made me sad. And to hear that there's going to be a Season 2, get your tissue box ready. Get ready for another roller coaster of storytelling because it's going to be freaking amazing.
I don't think I've seen the first one.
You should. It is generational.
Another show I'm gonna take some time to watch, like always.
Of course.
I hate that when I get hooked onto a show, I binge watch everything. Like to a point where I'm like, damn. Now I have to actually keep up with. Like I have to wait. Let's just say a TV show that's going on right now. I was like, damn, this hooked me up. So I watched the whole 8 seasons and catch up to the up-to-date show. I'm like, what the hell? Now I have to wait. I have to binge watch. I gotta wait 4 seasons to go through so I can watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'll give it another 3 more seasons if it does happen.
You should. I'd say you definitely should.
Which is all right. It's not important. We're here for the more important thing that got announced for us as adults.
Oh yeah.
Which is fucking it's insane to say.
I guess. Damn. Yeah, the biggest thing for us, longtime Chuck E. Cheese goers, I've now learned that Chuck E. Cheese is opening a new location. Some call it a sister location. Haha, FNAF fans. Haha. This location is called Chuck E.'s Arcade. Of course, this blew up on the internet for 2 reasons. Adults who have not been...
Definitely not called Chuck E.'s. Say the real names, dude.
It's Chuck's Arcade. Chuck's Arcade.
Yeah, not Chuck E.'s.
Well, like, it blew up on the internet for 2 reasons. Because adults are like, oh, we can go to Chuck E. Cheese without it being weird now. Other reasons, like Five Nights at Freddy's fans are like, they're opening a sister location. The name of the 4th Five Nights at Freddy's game. Or also just an arcade for adults. Ha. Very funny. If someone does this Chuck's Arcade, please let us know. We will cover it on the podcast very soon.
Reusing a bunch of like old stuff from like the old Chuckies, like a bunch of like the animatronics.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. Just to give it the old school feel, but I don't know about that. It just kind of sets up for the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff, you know.
I guess.
So yes, us adults, which is weird to say still because everyone always thinks they're gonna be kid forever, but they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's only one location that serves pizza and alcohol, and that's in Kansas.
Of course it is.
Only for right now, but there's one here in the Mall of Georgia. If you didn't know,
I did not know at all. That's
yeah, there's one here, and Brian's been wanting to go, trying to convince me to go, and I'm like, I want where they have stuff where I could eat and drink something. So I'm just not there just playing arcades, just to experience, and so we could do the whole Chuck E. Cheese conspiracy theory again, where people used to think they used to reuse their pizzas. Remember? You remember that whole theory?
I think I vaguely heard about this.
I think it was true, and then because of the whole theory went on, they kind of like fixed that error. You know? So, yeah. Check if you have Chuck's Arcade in your state or area, just to keep another business from shutting down, even though it just got kicked up.
Yep.
And this is for adults. Don't bring your kids. Take them to the actual Chuck E. Cheese's. Don't be weird. This is literally for us.
You know, so someone's gonna bring kids there. It's already.
We're gatekeeping this for us.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. Oh yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. For this week.
You want to close this out?
Yeah. I mean, why not? Thank you guys for watching this episode of the podcast. I've been your co-host. Sorry, I'm used to saying host because that's what I was for like the last month and a half. Your co-host, Assassin, with the host, SMGFrenzy. We appreciate you guys watching this episode. Hope y'all were safe during the 4th of July. And yeah, make sure you check out the videos on the channel. We got some more coming soon. So be on the lookout for that. Follow our socials down below. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you know when we upload. Comment down below what you like, what you didn't like. What's your take on any of the topics we have talked about on this podcast? And yeah, yeah, I got nothing much to say besides we'll see you guys next week for the usual. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Peace.